All right, think about taking something complex, where lots of different parts affect each other, and just boiling it down, making it simple.
Yeah, into like a neat statement. And that's pretty much what we're doing today, diving into mathematical formulae.
Exactly. We're working from source material that really lays out the basics. It's a chapter called Formulae, and it covers changing the subject and substitution, too.
Think of it as the essential toolkit. It helps you understand these relationships when they're expressed with numbers and symbols.
And our mission for you today, it's really to give you that core understanding. What is a formula? How do you, capture a real situation by framing it into an equation?
And then how you can flip it around, rearrange it to see the relationship differently.
Right. And finally, how you put actual numbers in to get a specific answer. It's about getting those power tools, really, to unlock the info inside the equations.
Okay, so let's start super basic like the material does.
Hmm.
What exactly is a formula?
Well, at its core, it's just an equation, isn't it? One that shows how two or more things, quantities, are related.
Yeah, it's the concise way to say if this changes, that changes, or these things combine to make this result.
The classic example they give is perfect. Speed, distance, time. So simple.
Instantly clear. That little formula just captures the whole connection between speed, distance, and traveling time.
And yeah, the source reminds us about the plural. Not formulas, but formulae. Like antenna.
Right. Formulae. Got it.
Okay, so moving on. One really interesting skill the material talks about is framing a formula.
Yeah. This is where you take a description, like a story problem almost, and translate it into that mathematical equation.
This is where it stops feeling abstract, I think. You're capturing something real. The source has this great example about a laborer.
Oh, yeah. The wages one, based on days worked versus days absent, over 50 days.
Exactly. And it shows how you build a formula like W35 by 500 rupees. W is the wages, X is days worked. It bundles multiple conditions into one neat package.
Or the other one, with the coins. Mixing different amounts of 5 rupee coins, 2 rupee, 1 rupee, even 50 pays coins.
And the formula for the total value, P, ends up P 5x plus 2y plus z plus r2. It shows how you combine different units, different values.
And the examples aren't just finance, are they? The chapter touches on geometry, physics.
Force, falling bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Formulae are kind of everywhere once you start looking for them.
Okay, so we know what they are, how to maybe build one from a description, but the real power, as this material suggests, comes from working with them.
And two key techniques jump out from the reading: changing the subject and substitution.
Right. Let's talk changing the subject first. It's really crucial. A formula usually starts out solving for one specific thing. That's the subject.
Like A in area is way half base times height. A is the subject there.
Exactly. But what if you already know the area, and you know the base, and you need the height?
The original formula isn't set up for that directly.
Precisely. So changing the subject means you rearrange the equation. You do the algebra needed so that the variable you want to find, maybe h for height, is the one isolated on one side.
You're basically making a new version of the same relationship.
Yeah, just tailored to answer a different question. It gives you flexibility.
Like the temperature example in the source. That's so relatable. You might have the standard F equals 95 C plus 32 formula.
Fahrenheit in terms of Celsius.
But if you have a temperature in Fahrenheit and need to know Celsius, you need C to be the subject.
Which means rearranging it to C59 F32. Same relationship, just flipped for a different use case.
Okay, that makes sense. And that flexibility leads right into the other technique, substitution.
Which sounds simple, and it kind of is. It's just putting the numbers in, right?
Pretty much. Once you've got the formula set up the way you need it, maybe after changing the subject,
You just substitute or plug in the values you know for the corresponding letters or variables.
like the area or length x breadth, a pound, example again. If you know length and breadth, put the numbers in, calculate A. Easy.
Or if you know A and L, like we said, you could change the subject first to get B equal L.
And then put in the numbers for A and L to find B.
Exactly. Or you could substitute first and then solve. The source mentions both ways work.
And bringing back the temperature example, if it's 104 degrees Fahrenheit and you want Celsius,
Use that rearranged formula, C59 F32.
and you substitute 104 for F, so C59, 104, 32, you do the math.
And you get the answer, 40 degrees Celsius. That's the practical payoff.
Yeah.
Getting the actual number you needed.
Okay, so let's sort of recap what we've pulled from this material. Formulae are these powerful shortcuts for understanding relationships.
We saw how to frame them, turn descriptions into equations, using those wage and coin examples.
And, crucially, how to work with them. Changing the subject gives you that flexibility to ask different questions.
And substitution lets you plug in what you know to find out what you don't.
And here's maybe the bigger takeaway, thinking beyond just the math exercises.
Yeah, this ability to frame, change the subject, substitute. It's not just about crunching numbers. It's about taking something complex and making it understandable, clear.
It's like gaining control over the information, isn't it?
Yeah.
You take this fixed relationship, the formula, but you can manipulate it to pull out whatever specific piece you need.
Exactly. You're in the driver's seat.
So the final thought, maybe. This chapter shows these basic algebra tools working for everything from wages to temperatures. What other complex things out there, maybe in your work or just in the world around you, what could become clearer, more manageable if you could just sort of identify the key variables and maybe frame the formula that connects them? Makes you think, doesn't it?